put too much effort into it. We struggle. We get tense. We use all our large muscle groups instead of our fine motor skills and our anticipation of what we're doing, thinking of it ahead of time. This is a concept used an awful lot in sports. I know some of my students are golfers and tennis people and pickleball and racquetball and handball, and all these sports require that you think ahead a little bit. You anticipate what's about to happen, and you maybe visualize yourself doing the perfect golf swing or the perfect tennis serve or that sort of thing. And so if you play those kind of sports, you could probably relate to this. And like I said, I've heard many students tell me when I show them these sort of techniques that, oh yeah, that's what my golf pro showed me the other day about visualization or thinking ahead, anticipation. So let's look at what that's all about. Here's my way of explaining it on the ukulele. So say we have a chord progression and it's A minor to E7. That's a nice one to start with. Something like this. All right, so that's not a particularly hard progression, but you do have to visualize that E7 chord ahead of time. You have to think about it. You have to see what your fingers are going to look like when you play it before you get there. So what I do is I'm on my A minor, which is an extremely easy chord. It's just one little finger, no big deal. I don't have to put a lot of effort into that A minor because it's easy, and I'm already there. So I don't even have to think about A minor. I'm already on the chord. What I should be thinking about is how am I going to get to E7? And that's where you put your brain power. How am I going to get to E7? Well, my second finger is going to hop on over to the C string. Same fret, it's still on the second fret, but it goes from the G string over to the C string. And then my first finger just has to pounce on the first fret. My third finger has to pounce on the second fret of the A string. And those are kind of the more work part of it. This one's already practically there. And then these two guys maybe take a little bit of work. But if you see that chord shape ahead of time, if you in your mind's eye can picture your fingers making a perfect E7 chord, or perhaps what the chord diagram looks like on paper or on an electronic screen, that would help you to visualize the chord ahead of time. And then I'm not going to struggle into the chord and use all my muscles and strength. I'm going to ease into the chord. I'm just going to relax and just go like this. I think Stu Fuchs, great teacher who I've met before and played with, he calls it, I think, soft hands. You soften your hand. I think that's how he puts it. But yeah, that's a good concept, soften your hands. Or in my lingo, I like to say relax into the chord, ease into the chord. So it's relaxing and it's thinking about the chord before you get there. Don't think about it at the last minute or you'll stumble. You might not quite make it. So like that A minor to E7 chord change, that would greatly benefit from this concept of relaxing into the chord, minimum motion, keeping your fingers close, use perfect technique, don't bend your wrist too much, don't have straight knuckles, keep your knuckles bent, all those good technique things that we learn, that applies. All right, I want to show you one last trick before we go. And this is probably the third most common chord cheat, if you want to call it that, or uncracking the chord code, or whatever, gimmicky saying we want to put to this. But I'm going to refrain from all of that and just show it to you. And it's the D7 to G trick. There are two ways you can do this. If you play D7 with your first and second fingers, as some people do, 2-0-2-0, with fingers 1 and 2, well, just pop fingers 1 and 2 over one set of strings, and then put your third finger in between them, and you get a G chord. By the way, all these diagrams for these chord changes will be made available. I'll put a link down below, take you to Patreon as usual, and you can click on that link over there and grab yourself diagrams in case my descriptions go by too quickly. So, yeah, that D7 to G, look at that. Easy as pie. First and second fingers just pop over one set of strings, and third finger comes in between them. Nice and easy. And then a second way to do it, which is actually my preferred way, is I always do my D7 like this with my second and third fingers. And again, that's 2-0-2-0. It doesn't change the notes, just which fingers you use to press down the notes. So I'm doing my D7 chord, and my third finger just kind of slides up from where it is now on the D7 chord. It's on the second fret. I'm going to slide it up to the third fret. And that leaves my first and second fingers ready to pounce and complete the G chord. So here's Jeff Weinberger's patented way of doing D7 to G. Mine usually looks like this. But this one's really good too. Whichever works for you is fine with me as long as it works. All right, ukuleleans, I hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Click that notify bell, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.